Okay. This is where we're supposed to be. I promise I wasn't skipping it to be rude, but this is where we left off. I'm going to turn the volume back up. Yeah. When people are like, you're on my list, I'm like, I am. I feel like I never stream. So I'm surprised. It always makes my heart really happy. 2 streams, I had so many chats. Others, I had tons of hours and no chats. Lurk Queen. I'm the same way. When Hoffman used to stream in the morning, he was like my go-to lurky. I feel like I mainly lurked. There were some streams I felt like I was a little talkative, but he was my morning pick of choice between him and Jen. And I had a lot more lurky hours with him than chatty compared to, like, you know, Flood. I'm doing fairly well. Missing my girlfriend at the moment, though. Oh, no. Well, I hope you guys can be reunited soon. I'm glad you're doing well. I miss you. I've got 2 main ones, too. This is one of them. Aw. Top 1%. Oh, my God. Oh, I love that. Guys, don't make me feel things. Okay, we have 2 options. I don't know if you guys remember where we left off, but... So this is having dinner with our new friend. I can't remember her name. Her name is, like, Beck? I think it's Beck. Making you feel emotions. Oh, stop. Please don't restart my cold, dead heart. It's very painful when it feels things. So we chose for the storm to happen. So we ended up hanging out with Bex and, like, connecting with her. And then we had a fight with Rolo afterwards because we kind of blew him off to have dinner with her and her family. So that's that one. So instead of the storm happening, we could choose, I guess, the storm breaks. So instead of hanging out and bonding with Beck, I'm assuming we go to the treehouse to see Rolo. And then this one, we were with the bully that we had splashed that sludge on them, and they started to mutate. Hi! And then they decided to fight all the clipboards. Hi! Hi, Master Tater! How are you? We live about 30 minutes apart, and she is out of town to see a special doctor pertaining to surgery. She had about 7 months ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope she's doing all right. I hope she's recovering well. And it sounds like she's not going to be gone too long, right? So I know it sucks being apart, but it'll just make it all that much better when you guys are finally back together, you know? So we decided to fight. We fired off this cannon thing, and we missed. It just went blomp, 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 and it just ploop. It plooped down. Plooped with an L, not a double O. And I'm guessing by choosing flight, we ran away, or attempt to run away, instead of standing our ground. You're doing great? I'm glad. I'm doing really well. I feel good right now. Just for the week. Should be back Friday. Oh, not too much longer. It's almost Wednesday. Just a couple more days. As plungers do. Hi, Endel. Yeah, it just went bloop. I wanted the plunger to hit that man's snoot so hard that it suctioned to it. That's what I wanted to happen. But it just went bloop. So those are our 2 options. We're gonna either run away or attempt to run away, or we Don't hang out with Beck. I feel like this one is... This one. This one is more dramatic. We're gonna choose flight and see what happens.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches.
Oh, we're gonna try to use it to escape?
He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Yeah, there we go. We're gonna escape. Oh, okay, Christina. I'm glad she's okay. That's good. Hopefully everything went smoothly. Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr, we'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Ziplining out. What a bunch of badasses. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back.
Uh-oh.
The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice.
More ice? No!
In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs.
Ooh.
They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across the snowy terrain.
What? What are these people doing to the environment? Oh my god. That was actually pretty badass. That's what I said. This narrator has an amazingly beautiful voice. Yes, everything about this game is wonderful. It's called Beacon Pines. I highly recommend it to everyone, even though I've not beat it yet. I like it that much. The narration is beautiful. It's funny dialogue. The art is amazing. The music just, okay. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is that there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. We gotta find a way home. Yes, yes, yes. It's on Game Pass right now. Oh, it's on sale. 20% off on Steam, you hear? I don't know why I said it like that. Not as beautiful as yours and my girlfriend's, but still beautiful. Oh, stop. Stop it, Christina. Find a way home. Look at our little feet prints. Forget buttons.
Smooth metal was lightly covered in snow.
Oh, the way down?
2 faint seams were visible along the surface.
A man cover? Manhole cover. Man cover? Look here in the snow, there's a man cover. I'm so good with words. A 1920s gangster. Yeah, pretty much. I need cover. Hi, Sturka. Well, I found this shiny circular metal one here in the snow. It is made to cover a man. If it is, I've never seen one like it. Jump on it. Please cover your manhole. Hi, Coffee Monk! What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. It's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Dun dun dun. Hope I'm doing well. I hope you are well as well. An excessive amount of wells. What's all this? I don't know what these accents are. I don't know what's happening to my brain and my mouth. Hard to say with all the snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out the letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town in this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Throw something at it. Kick it. Kick it? No. Snowball? Hacha!
The boys
Hi, Lammy!
stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
Beacon Pines? Wait. This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? Oh no, I gotta cough again, guys. Hold on. Stupid cough. How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. No, you will. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Luca! Luca! Are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo Kerr. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with
I thought it was
hesitation.
Rolo. No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Hi! Hi, Usagi! How are you? Need to head out and get some rest. I hope everyone here has an awesome and amazing time zone. Good night, Christina! I hope you get some rest get some good rest. Sweet dreams and all that jazz. Hi! I like the art style. It's so good! I agree. It's really good. Why are you bonking me? What did I do? You're doing good? I'm glad. I'm doing pretty good. I am doing all kinds of weird accents randomly. I don't know what's happening with my mouth. It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
I knew it! I knew they were responsible for his mother disappearing. We gotta keep moving. Does stuff look familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into. Yeah. Oops.
The fencing glistened.
Endel knows all the answers. I'm asking all the questions, but he cannot answer. I mean, he could answer, but... The fencing glistened.
Each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Ooh. Looks like the stuff they put up around Weep Wood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim, run. So this is what happened in the one story ending when they were in the treehouse, because they suddenly got frozen in an entire block of ice.
Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This one isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry.
Aww.
Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? You're getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with your baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
Something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Ruler are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
I feel like the proper response should have been, yup. Isn't that what she says all the time? Yup. Huh. It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
Aw. Should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep.
You're sleeping outside?
Iggy snuggled in some more.
Aww. Are they gonna die in the cold? I can't handle this. They keep emotionally draining me. When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. That's how you die in the cold. Yes! Falling asleep outside. There's buildings around. I know they're all like busted open and stuff, but like it's still shelter-ish from the wind and they're not sitting on snow? I don't know.
Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face.
If you could stop dying, that'd be great. Exactly.
The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aw, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials.
Uh-oh.
Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us.
Uh-oh.
The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see.
Oh no. Oh no.
The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next?
Oh no, I have such a bad feeling about this.
And crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward.
What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them.
Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder.
What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall.
Oh, they're so cute. Look at their hat.
It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker of the infinite expanse of possibility. Great, how about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat. Where's Nat? She's in this game.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait! You live here? You might say that. So, you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, I just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here, one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with your riddles. Iggy, wait up!
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Misgendered. Nat is a boy. My apologies. At least the he. He, him. Okay. Open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place.
He's adorable. He is. I love the scarf. Is Nat a Time Lord? I think so.
Cold and disheartened.
Oh. This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate and we would? Or we teleported to some alternate universe? Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. We found a way home. You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which would be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity. A revulsion, even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. Did the narrator stop reading? She didn't read that. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why, indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they
He
could.
looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation.
eBay grabs baby. That one popped up. I swear she didn't read. Unless I just didn't hear. I don't know.
With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out.
Iggy. It's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weep Wood.
Chapter 6.
Replicated a town. What?
The source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest.
Uh-huh.
But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know.
His dad's grave? No.
Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, all alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply.
What did you
Just
do?
snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
Gotta hide. $159K. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? They're gonna have this conversation right now? They just so happen to be okay. We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. People who loved them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey. Don't be such a downer, dude. I took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Oh, the dance off. Weirdo. Here, I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, it's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover? Who are you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerks come at ya, acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Her and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off the switcheroo for a reason, right? Not mentioned something about a source?
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. What if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Words. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Oh, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Still looking for words. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
The chicken coop? Yep. Just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, there were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under the tree. When I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Primo fireworks, baby. You think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. Hero's just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser. We're getting sassy pants up in here. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Crooked! It's a bent spoon! I know there's like a giant hole in the middle, but I was hoping I would find more words. Okay.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes.
Hey, Abe. How are you? You're a fan of Beacon Pines? There is no spoon. Exactly. No spoilers.
Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! 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 Whoa. I can see why they wanted us to move out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole! How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He is safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drat, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this enough to explain it. Oh my god. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. Hold on. Move that. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh heavens, no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us. You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. We're going to get yeeted into the hole of frozen death? We need to stop dying, please. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
He turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. Up. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here. They walked backwards.
Sighed into the
clipboards
air.
just walked backwards. Just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow.
No! No! Is Iggy? No.
He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
Shoot a firework in his face hole! You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? Doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go. Save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Oh my god, Iggy's a fucking badass! What? Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Iggy's the best. He's pretty great. Dum-dum-dum. I don't know the song. Dum-dum. Wow, can you believe this guy? Hum! Oh, we got a word.
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go! No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You're not going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Luca had no choice but to blank Iggy's request. Oh no! I'm like pre-crying already. Like I'm already crying. And I haven't chosen anything, and now I'm fucking crying. Ugh, these games make me feel emotions. Ugh. Disgusting. Let's just get this sad over with.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
This is so sad. Ugh. Hold on. Ugh, okay. Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Oh, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. Doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold, and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
Yeah, we do. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. You know all of this stuff. Why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What?
Revenge served cold.
Wait, what?
Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy.
Right? Iggy's the
No way.
best.
I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
I can't handle that one again for now. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna go over here. Okay, this is feel good stuff, right? It's Beck, and instead of hanging out with Beck, we're gonna go see Rolo in the treehouse. Right? My glasses are foggy because my eyes get unusually hot when I cry. Okay? Don't judge me. Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Oops, hit the wrong button. Sure, you can meet Rolo. You're not going home? No. I promised Rolo I'd tell him about...
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promise you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you've gotta tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse. I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. Rolo isn't a jerk, right?
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? Mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich, reclusive owners. It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. Who's that she's talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Is that Granny? That's not Granny. Is that Granny? That can't be Granny. Now this is what I'm talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything? I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to see the look on that rude cur's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady. That's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
I knew it! Family. I wasn't doing the old lady voice.
A chill ran down Luca's spine.
It was the mask, totally covering her real voice.
His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect. That's true, they're all about
Tussled her hair
family.
back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night.
All that hair. Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Chapter 5. What big ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why are you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there is a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. I knew it. Is it that way? No. Uh-oh. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Uh-oh. This guy murdered us once. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give them a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good, that's good. Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. Yep. It's our favorite little reader. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure in tone, are you prepared to live with the truth? Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the Perennial Harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer is always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait. Customer is not always right. Dawn is gone. We're just exploring everywhere. I know we have places to be, but also words. And okay. Is this the same movie? Yeah. Zero. We sneak by. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So, what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo? He's... Rollo? Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the fowl harvest. It's about damn time you tell me what this fowl harvest thingy is. It's kind of a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year, the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick? Yep. For some reason, their farm was hit harder than others. Sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn Initiative. Yep. First thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us all up in hotels. One town over for a week. Why, they decontaminated the groundwater. So that's when they moved the town? That's smart. We better get going. Decontaminated the water, aka moved the town. It only took them a week to move an entire town? Damn. Oh. Do I have different bait options? Oh, I have different bait options!
Luca tied a small magnet to the line. Fishing with the law of attraction.
I I knew that blanket. I said magnet because she just said magnet. I knew that blanket was too big for just a rubber ducky and a boot. I knew it. Oh, forgot how to fish. Don't mind me. Fishing. Ooh, a key. Where do you think the lock is for this key? Now, why would we want to find that? Because then we would know the secret. Gah, that's no fun. The second we know what it unlocks, it just becomes a boring old key. Right now, this key could unlock anything. Cool. Cuppy fishing stream. Prepare for anxiety.
Luca
Smack?
stuck a toy stretchy hand onto the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway.
Yeah, they do. Super fast. Ooh, a bracelet. Should we give it to Mom? She likes jewelry. That's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. I'm not sure she'd fully appreciate a pond bracelet. I would.
Luca wrapped some tape around the hook. Hey, you never know.
All right, tape. Oops. Premature pulling. It's got a bunch of big words written on it. Let's see that. We regret to inform you that your application for property rights with respect to the Beacon Pine CBD and surrounding area has been rejected. What is that for? Applicant, Valentine Estate. Good. Good. He probably said that in like a menacing voice.
Luca placed his finger on the line.
Good.
Sometimes the best stuff is at the bottom of the pond.
All the pieces are coming together. A message in a bottle! Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard liquor for a hard man. Best leave that be. Takes a real piece of work to leave something like that lying around. But there's a note inside. Wait. There's a note inside. Ugh. I want to read it. I'm nosy. Pungent.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
Gonna catch me a Time Lord. Hopefully it's David Tennant. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. That man's got a continuous? Oh my god, relationship with time. Shh. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Oops. Last one. Crooked.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
All right, let's see. What's it gonna be? Picture? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh. Look at those two young fools. How'd it end up in the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. Miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Well, that's quite a haul. I got an achievement. Oh man, you did this way later than I did? I didn't have most of these options at this point. Oh. I waited a very long time to come back to it. I didn't know I could until we were here with Beck. Is that all of them? Oh, I did get achievements, so I guess. Feels like a good time to pack up. Aw, just a little bit longer. Things lasted forever. They might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, buckaroo. You ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, let's go fishing, and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yep, top secret. Neat. Cute. That's all of them. Oops. How do I back out?
Luca wrapped some fish.
I had to pick a bait. Pick a bait. Any bait. Please don't be mad. Please don't be mad. Please don't be mad. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rolo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rolo waggled his head with pride.
Aw. You'll find we've spared no expense in construction. Seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey, Luca. You know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test and infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Do I throw something at that? Ooh, it moves. Gotcha. Totally calculated. Where did you guys get all this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades his junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative. I'll give you that. Luca, are you sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Oh, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So, like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they were squatters. I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Oh, yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah? Then it could have been a woman. How'd you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang, that's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Eris Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There was an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. Then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Eris Valentine. Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kinda awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. And their leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. Your Gran is weird. She might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know. We haven't talked much since she moved in. Hydrate, I got you. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No. She came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It'd been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
Hold up. No. Okay. I had a thought. My thought was like, as soon as she started questioning Gran, I was like, wait, is Gran his mother? And she's been aged because the stuff got splashed on Bex and her hair turned white. But when it splashed Iggy, it kind of mutated him, right? So like, Gran doesn't look mutated. That can't be his mom, right? You know what I mean? Like, the mom went missing, but maybe she's not missing. Maybe she's old and pretending to be Gran? No, that's too much of a aliens conspiracy, I think. I'm just saying. Sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Lucas Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says, folks only bury stuff worth digging up. We need to investigate your house. If Gran really is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you tomorrow when the coast is clear. We can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in. snooping and friendship.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
A secret lair?
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder.
Secret lair.
Luca walked home slowly
Secret
under the pale
lair.
starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
Time is it? I was just about to say I'm not wearing my sweater. Now I am. I'm coming. He's wearing a Sherlock Holmes hat. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, it's so cute. That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case open. The coast is clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat. It may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. Hi, Joker. No dice. It's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it is really... If it really is important, then she would probably keep it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. Hey, Gmod! But it doesn't matter anyway. I can't reach the hatch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
All right, Rollo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this is my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random teacup
As
and...
Beck pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your aunt has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracy vibe. Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
Walter's his dad, right? What do you got there? It's my dad. It's like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents such as these are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. By all means,
He
proceed.
stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Willoughby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Willoughby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results for Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Joseph is the uncle? Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribble in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Willoughby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My moms are both on here. Both with question marks? Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. Rollo. I love Rollo. Pretend it's Mr. Kerr's face. Why yada. Why is that so satisfying? Okay, one more time. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution. Explosive? And jam jars? It's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Incendiary. She wouldn't have had me walking around town delivering bombs. Right? Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratinelli. A grand jam gram? It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Okay.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool. This looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure is a treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. And if we follow it...
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
It leads right to...
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path of the map has the same symbol as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure. Real bummer. Rolo, what's this thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival! Did you say gulp? This feels like a gulp situation. Everyone will be gathered near the town center. She's gonna blow up the festival? Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yoo-hoo!
thump,
It's the guy from the market. The one who was like wink wink at us. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
thump.
That's what someone who's gonna hurt you wants you to believe. I'm just here to help. Just...
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rolo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Bro, don't.
It was too late. Rolo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rolo tackled the man to the ground.
Rolo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. But there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rolo, that was awesome! Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbered him good, Rolo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rolo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tulliver?
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, blank cop interrogation. Do we go, are we chill cop or hard cop? Decisions. if we already have good cop, then let's go hard cop.
They'd run the classic good
Go
cop,
hard or go home,
hard
you know what I
cop
mean?
interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair
Jay,
which
I got
propped
you.
up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, 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 Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver.
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face.
Oh my God.
Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the
The
world?
chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance. What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth can I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good
He shook his
lord.
head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's
His
where
voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we'd better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more relatable? Or reliable? Sorry. The library. If there's any information about the source thing, Kato can help us find it. Oh, I love Kato. Let's go get some answers. This is a dang nice library. Thanks. We work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hung out here so much eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet, and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rollo I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sorta don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8.
Look what page we're on.
6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of those asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Tickle. Wait, what was that name back? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. It's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford. Maybe there's 2 J. Hartfords. Why can't I words, mouth, brain. Words, mouth, brain, work, please. Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
All right, gang. I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh, crap. Paul's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay. Let's meet up early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. I forgot about him.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house.
Dun, dun, dun.
If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business.
Murder.
Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering.
To murder someone.
He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Check on Mr. Tolliver in the basement. To murder him. Oh no!
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a
Or
trace?
maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be,
He flipped the lid
delayed.
to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play cool. Guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Okay, we're just gonna go to sleep. Can I shut this? No. I was gonna try and grab a snack or something. Gran is gone! Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed. Play cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter.
The jam?
He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move.
Thud.
His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The germ? Yep, you done got jammed, Luca. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? She's dragging him? She drug him into the bedroom. Rest now and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival. Hmm. He still has the hat on. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa, ho, ho. Sly devil. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. We found anything? We looked around, but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing on? Hello, Beacon Pines. Hold on. Trying to open my water bottle. And I only spilled a little bit of water. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize somebody who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right. Where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine,
He
everyone!
gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's exonerable, exorable, there we go, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip, which brought me to a small town, which would forever change my life.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And perennial harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim...
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Our harvest away... Again?
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
Oh my gosh.
There's that ice again!
Again!
Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
I mean, it could.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Okay, so we still have Chill Cop and Sly Cop. Ugh, I don't want to go back to that. Refuse to drop Iggy. Sly?
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Oh, it gets Beck involved.
She roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're the Modwell girl? Please, call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
It had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in
Mr.
this
Tolliver
town.
rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both here to...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep. The old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an old phrase in a perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it? It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. Should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf? But all he ever sells is his apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies? So you would be 21. N would be 14. C would be... Oh! It's an anagram. Nun Creed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate Nun Creed's drugstore. Sorry, I'm putting on lip balm. Here we go. Should we talk? You scared me half to death. Sorry. Guess haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around here, have you? No? He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Bye. We haven't seen him in like forever. Where am I going? The drugstore. Oh wait, cool guy stuff. Always time for cool guy stuff. Okay, let's go. Oh. She looks like someone who has had too much of the world's bullshit. That's true. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think...
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Kerr really does want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They're dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When all this inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be part of the future or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Yes, you should go home. Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. Drugstore. Do you want to go anywhere else? Hi! Hi, Dice Mom! How are you? I'm sorry, I want to explore! Okay, Nun Creeds. Yep. You're good? I'm glad. I'm doing great.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still here? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get that candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. But whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. You hear that? You hear that, you muffin lovers? Oh yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I've always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in the store. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Kren's Nude Rug Store. I mean, Underground Secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
All right, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground Secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing.
My bad. I read it in my head and then I clicked it.
It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
Whoa!
The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it! You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real? Rollo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of these has something written on them. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizers. And a series of tubes. Pa always says you can only trust a miner up to the point where they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to that old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. Okay. Suit? This suit has a broken mask. So we have found our mystery warehouse creeper. We've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like an uncreed and it talks like an uncreed, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around high sci-fi tech. High sci-fi sci-fi.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide! Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Nuncreed. Shit. 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 Awesome. You all need to come with me. Now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. They love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now, I like my skin. This all stops now, Nun Creed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent and helping folk. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients, and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us, says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, "Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone."
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs... Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
Menacing. I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently, she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on it, the fountain in Town Square. The fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all! You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. Woo! You good? Yep. Woo! I love this town. Wow! And it has jam.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Aha! Okay. The man cover. That was intense? Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. It didn't feel like we traveled that far. So, where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Where did all his barf go? This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time. Nuncreed's getting away. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I might not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of the town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Rollo. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective? Kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pine citizens of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. I mean, that seems just as
they rounded the corner to the frozen town
plausible
square,
as
they spotted Mr.
giant
Nuncreed
ice
inching cautiously
source.
toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out.
Are we freezing again?
She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed the whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rowanbeck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And in the stillness, he began to hum or weep. I'm so tired of everyone freezing to death. I just want everybody to live.
He began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
Am I supposed to click?
Luca lifted his head in astonishment.
I knew it was his mom. I knew it.
The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
She got sludged, right? And she aged. How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only one who called me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom! Aww.
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? Thought you were gone. Should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you had pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see you now. There's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Bye, Joseph. You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus liquamen. There were dozens of them.
We've heard this
Every
before.
one stamped failed.
About that.
Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, She dashed over and dove inside.
And this is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd. Just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean up this place. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated... Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. I'm afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please? Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true, and now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... Is this Sharper? Wait, is this Sharper Valentine? It's had the reversed effect on him. He's young and everyone else aged. Ugh. That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. The ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter. Your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr? Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for the rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
I knew it!
A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No! So you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people! Maybe it would help if we set the mood? Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Ah, wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Malice. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr?
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Does anyone else have something to contribute?
Helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy, I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give, the opportunity to prove yourself in my absence. Squandered. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. But silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you could just live forever? But what about... It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's no helping it. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? There he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because you left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter, cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those of you who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again. And I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. It's done! It's done! Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of perennial harvest? Ha. You think that puffed up blatherskite could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a Pat C the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ah, the young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it. Ah.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Okay. We still have Weep. We have Chill Cop. We have Malice over here. And Refuse. I thought I could finish this game tonight, but all of this reading is hurting my throat. So, I think I'm going to have to do a part 3 of this game. I love this game so much, though. Is it gonna save? It just saved out. Okay, that's fine.